Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. We talk outdoors every Saturday morning for 90 minutes, the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio and programming as we roll into our close to our 18th year. We've been here a long time. Greg Ratliff is our show producer, and we couldn't do it without him. I thought this week we might do it without him, but we worked some things out. Glad to have him. This being the first Saturday of the month, Cinco de Mayo is, as I've already been told by Brother Daryl and Daryl here.
On my calendar.
Dave Gabbard and Gene Smith are our co-hosts as they all
We're singing Back Up.
Back Up. I don't know that tune. How does it go?
Back Up.
That's it. Well, we're really happy to have Bill Cox.
La Bamba.
La Bamba, Richie Valens. Really happy to have Bill Cox in studio with us because we've had Bill a couple of times and hadn't really had a chance to sit down with him and talk about current issues. And there's a lot going on in the TWRA. The commission just had a recent meeting. Bill, I know that you talked about a variety of things, and let's kick off with one on your list over there that we might talk about.
Well, perhaps the most important effort that in the country for all state agencies is funding.
Yes,
and what they have named the R3 effort, which is retention and recruitment and reactivation of hunters, whether it's new hunters, men, women, children. This state agencies' budgets are either all or mostly license sales, revenue driven, and as we are competing with video games, television, other sports, we're losing, urbanization. We're losing hunters.
Yeah,
we're not gaining them as fast as we're losing them. So we're gaining them, but we're losing them faster. So there's an effort in TWRA is gearing up and doing a great job to get ready to do some social media, to do some public service announcements. Doug Markham is working. Dave Gabbard did that before he left, and the effort to add new hunters and fishermen, and one important thing to me is to provide more access and opportunity, because you can get a 30-year-old young man that's got a 12-year-old son or 35-year-old whatever, and when you start looking around for a place to hunt, there has to be something there that he can easily get access, that's not terribly difficult. He doesn't have to have a boat to go. He doesn't have to just make it too terribly hard to take his son, or just by himself when he doesn't, he gets his license and perhaps hunter education. Where do you go then? So we have to provide, if it's fishing, we need courtesy docks. We need boat rentals. We need things that make it easy for somebody to get into the sport.
Yeah.
And then it goes to buying a boat or buying more guns or buying the camo and all the economic impact that comes from that, which Dave mentioned. Boating and fishing and hunting in Tennessee is close to a $10 billion industry,
right? Just
for Tennessee. Another something else we talked about in the meeting was that, as hunters know, we changed the definition of a button buck 2 years ago, and the agency has proposed to go back to the definition that was previously used, and I believe something will be changed, whether it is to accept to go back or some hybrid in between. The effort was to protect more of the bucks and to make it a little harder, but the unintended consequence was that hunters quit killing does, and the doe kill dropped precipitously.
Yeah.
And in 2000 or 99, when we went to 2 bucks the first time, the doe kill went up. So the only variable was that definition. So we felt like after 2 years the data was there and the agency recommended it. So we're probably going to change that.
We're under a comment period right now.
Yeah,
this is the time.
The agency has presented their proposals, and the commission has commented on it and listened and talked about some other things. And if you can watch the presentation online, you can read it in Facebook or news releases and different things. But if you've got something that you support or don't like, or whether the commission has talked about it or not, if the agency's proposed changing in crow season and you don't like it, now's the time.
Now's the time
call
to do
in
it
and say, look, this is something.
But you'll be setting these dates in at the May meeting, right?
That's correct. We'll have committee meetings and discuss details on Thursday afternoon at 1:00.
And that's going to be in the Nashville office?
Nashville office. And then Friday, there'll be a committee recommendation one way or the other on Thursday, and that committee will report to the commission on Friday. And the commission will discuss and vote on the changes. And like I said, this is a 2-year change.
2-year change,
yep.
And then
that we can bring up the proclamation. They can next year, and if they need to adjust this or that something has come up, but to prepare a complete overhaul of all the regulations that the agency reviews won't happen for 2 years.
For 2 years.
Yep.
But the antlerless deer question, which I think has been one of the most talked about, discussed and cussed regulation that we've had. And I think that my personal view, I want it to go back to the bump on the head.
Right.
And so I'll know exactly,
You want it to be 3 inch.
I want it to be 3 inches.
Yep.
Yeah. And
we need to be fair to hunters. I mean, it is difficult especially if you haven't hunted a lot and you can't identify what a little button buck might look like by his body shape or his head shape, or if he's in a group of does and you're going to kill a doe right before you're going to get down in the afternoon, or it's in the woods and you can't really tell. You need to be fair to the hunters, but you do need to protect the bucks if you can. There's no sense in killing a little deer like that if you can keep from it.
That's right, and that's one of the other things. What else you got over there?
Let me see. I had my notes here
in
my phone, and it cut off.
Well, we got time, but
Bill, our hunter ed classes have dropped down a lot. Used to, I had 60 to 90 people in the class.
Really?
Now I do good to have 30 or 40.
Well,
that's
another
a problem. That's a problem. Yeah.
So, and I don't think we're holding classes. We've got the online CD, but then we've got a Saturday practical that's hard to schedule. I mean, I checked 5 or 6 months ago to see when the next class was out here, and there wasn't one scheduled. But the range has been closed for a while because of the air conditioning problem and the lead filtering of the range and that kind of thing. But I think it's fixing to reopen here shortly.
Yes.
All right, Larry. The next thing was President's Island.
Yes, I want to hear about that.
And this is not something I brought up, but one of the commissioners and his son got drawn and hunted President's Island, and I've been on the island, and I know what the levee breach in 2011 did to President's Island.
Yeah, it changed it dramatically.
It changed it completely.
Yeah.
It ran the deer off, changed the agricultural. They don't plant, but probably Jim said it was 25. It was down 25%. I think it's more 35 or 40% because of that sand that went in there.
Right. Yeah.
So, not that it doesn't hold some big deer, but I think some of those big deer left, and they'll take time to come back. But there's a proposal to go to an 18-inch spread on an 8-point rather than a 9-point.
Okay. All right.
They've killed some 9-points this year, I think, but they were small, and they were legal, but they were small. And also to change it from one 50-hunter hunt to 2 30s.
2 30s.
Because now there's with the levee breach that
some of these people aren't coming.
There's a smaller place to hunt now. So
yes.
50 people is
too many.
Is a lot. So and you're giving 10 more, but you're breaking it up into 2 30s, which I think gives the hunting experience a little better quality. So that's been the agency proposed a 22-inch outside. So one of the commissioners is just talking about it. They're going to settle somewhere. I like an inside spread because I think it's easier to estimate. I really don't like that at all because it puts it makes the hunter. What happens if he underestimates?
That's right. Yeah.
So that's a problem. What that might do is give him pause, and he might not kill one that's borderline. So
right. Yeah.
Need to be careful about that.
So that's President's Island, and that is on the agenda for May.
That's on the agenda.
Okay.
The next item that I've got on my list is people that have paid attention know we have elk hunting in East Tennessee.
Yes, we do.
And
I will get drawn someday.
We have had an auction of one of the elk tags.
Yeah. With the Rocky Mountain Elk
Mountain Elk Foundation or the Tennessee Wildlife Foundation has had an online auction. But this year we have gotten the legislature to give us permission to raffle. You can buy a $10 raffle ticket. You can buy 1,000 $10 raffle tickets.
Okay.
And there's going to be a handheld drawing, I suppose. I guess that Dave, you know if it's a computer draw or a handheld. It's probably got to be. I didn't ask that, but there's going to be a drawing, and one lucky recipient will get a $10 permit. You have to buy your license and all, but you'll get an elk tag to hunt. So that'll
replace that one thing.
That auction.
The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation will not.
I think the Tennessee Wildlife Foundation has been doing it. The Elk Foundation may have done it 1 year, but we were making $8,000 or $9,000 or $10,000. We hope to make $100,000 with this raffle.
Wow!
We hope a lot of people will buy this $10 ticket nationwide. This is not just a Tennessee
nationwide
effort. This is a nationwide effort. To somebody in Wyoming wants to kill a Tennessee elk, you can buy a $10 raffle ticket, just like you can in Texas, Wyoming, Colorado.
That's
you can
right.
buy a hunt ticket for some of those areas
and pay your out-of-state license.
Pay your out-of-state license.
And I think, and I think it does well, to go that route. Just personally, because you look at Tennessee. My wife and I discussed it driving across. We put a lot of emphasis on the social media stuff and the internet stuff. There's a lot of places in this state you can't get it.
So you have a chance here by getting
you got to sign up. If they know they can go to a licensed agent, and see something and buy that raffle ticket, a lot of them go say, well, I won't go to Starbucks this week or something.
Well,
I'll buy me an elk
say
ticket.
before we go out of here, also, this gives you two chances, right? You still, as a Tennessee resident, I can still put in for the
Absolutely.
hunt. So this
you
gives
put in for the quota hunt.
For the quota hunt, which I that's my bucket list, but my bucket will be kicked before that ever happens, And I've fought this, not fought it. I don't understand why West Tennessee hunters do not put in for this. And I always gripe because somebody over there is going to Middle Tennessee. It's because we don't participate enough. And I think that here's your chance, folks.
And I was
$10.
Something to echo what Bill was saying a while ago. Being this is election year, and we've got several people running for governor. And I was talking to one of them the other day.
All right,
seen it, and what Bill said. You hear a lot of governor people platforms. They want good jobs in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Okay, you got a good job and you're making an income, income.
Right.
What do you want to spend? You want to go to the outdoors. You want a place to hunt and fish and spend that money.
Yeah, so here's some.
So I said that's very important whether you think about it or not, but the wildlife resources and the outdoor resources of the state is very important to, something
you
like
said
that.
$10 billion? Is that what you said, Bill?
That's just what I said.
Wow, $10 billion. All right, let's take a break. Bill Cox in studio today, and we're going to come back and talk a little Region 1 big game and find out what's going on in the turkey season. I know what's going on for me, but maybe it's going better for you. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.